Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Jess Strom Show. I'm your host, Katie Tetzlow, and love is in the air for this Tuesday, February 13th, as Valentine's Day is just tomorrow. We are lucky today to have a special guest with us, junior guard Gianna Flood-Francis, who is joining the show. Gianna, welcome. First time. I know you're a little nervous today, but I have a great feeling that you're going to do well because you're just going to translate what you do from the court right here to this interview. So for people that don't know you, Gigi, please tell everybody, what year you are, what position you play, and what your major is currently here at CalU.
I'm a junior, and I play on the wing, and I major in sports management.
Sports management. Fantastic. And Gigi, you're coming you transferred from Salem this year, so it's your first time with the Vulcan basketball program. Can you tell us the big difference, Gigi, from your time at Salem to the transition over to CalU?
The biggest difference is waking up in the morning, and I would say it's harder here.
A lot harder. Challenging in terms of basketball?
Yes.
Practice, preseason? Big
it's
differences.
More intense.
More intense. And you say that the mornings are a challenge for you. Gigi, we know that you have the best attitude first thing in the morning. When you wake up, you are just full of sunshine. Tell us what is hard for you about getting up in the morning, because we know you go to bed late, early, decently early. What is so challenging for you to get up in the morning?
I'm not even sure. I try so hard.
But you're just not. Have you always never been a morning person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never.
So, because viewers out there, we noticed that Gigi, when she's first to the court, she's a little quiet. She doesn't talk much. But as soon as she gets warmed up, she's ready to go and ready to practice. Gigi, what made you want to make the transfer from Salem? I know you said that it's a lot more challenging here, but when you were back in the summer before the season and you decided to make the transfer, what were some of the reasons that you wanted to attend CalU?
I think I just wanted to mostly challenge myself and to be in a better organization.
And the conferences are different. The team's different in terms of record. What have been some of the most difficult transitions that you've had to deal with coming from Salem, and now being with Cal? Like, what are some things that were difficult for you to learn first, and now that you're kind of getting used to?
I think the biggest difference was the defensive part. I think that it's harder here. I just think it's harder here because before I could do whatever I wanted.
Well, and you were a big scoring threat at Salem, and still are here at Cal. But the difference is that CalU doesn't focus a lot on offense. Everything that we get from defense, and we have been so pleased, from seeing the offensive juggernaut that you were at Salem to come into Cal and changing your whole landscape of how you play. I would say, in terms of your on-ball pressure is amazing, your off-ball defense is amazing. What are some things that some focus that you put into to understand the defense, because it is so different? Like, how did you pick up on it so quickly?
Well, I like playing defense more than anything. So I think just listening to and learning from you guys and watching, I watch more than I try to do. And
we know, Gigi, you are a big film person. After games, before games, you watch a ton of film. What kind of advantage do you think that gives you? I mean, you watch basketball 24/7, from watching other people's games to watching our games. What kind of advantage do you think that gives you when you approach our games?
I think that I'm learning as I'm watching instead of, I try to do the things that I'm learning and fix what I have done wrong.
Absolutely. We think that's great. So far in the season, 20-4 overall, 15-3 PSAC. What have you noticed about this league, playing in the PSAC, playing each game as we go through kind of the last 4 to 5 games of the year? You've had the opportunity to play, teams multiple times. Some are coming up. What have you noticed some things about the league?
You can never be relaxed, and you always have to be ready for whatever is going to happen.
Yeah, because you never know. Any day that you can go from, being the top dog to kind of being 5. So it happens so quickly. And that's one thing that I think we've noticed along the way. We've had the opportunity to beat some of the top teams. And then on the lower end, gotten beat some really close games and had some really close teams with teams that are in the middle of the road or at the end of the PSAC. So, every day is kind of just bringing your A game. Am I correct?
Yeah.
And how do you prepare yourself, Gigi? Every morning when you wake up for practice, what are some things that you do to prepare yourself for practice? How do you get yourself going?
I listen to gospel.
Hoping the Lord's going to help you out.
Yeah, to wake me up. And now I just go to rehab to try to get better.
And you were injured midway through the year, a big-time thumb injury that kept you out of a lot of games. Tell us about that injury, Gigi, and how hard or easy it was to come back from that. So if you want to explain a little bit about what happened.
I think it was hard to come back because it was my dominant hand, and I'm not used to not having it and not being able to do anything with it.
Would you say that you started to really, really develop your offhand?
I'm trying to.
Day by day. And we see you doing that work, and individual stuff that you do and getting shots in and all that. How hard was it to come back in terms of being back in shape, getting back into the grind? You started prior to that most every game and then had to sit out and then kind of work your way back in the starting lineup. Tell us about that process and how that was for you.
I think I liked it because it made me have to work harder.
Absolutely.
And coming back, it's just like I have to just push myself to do it.
And what are you looking forward to? We have, obviously, Mercyhurst on Wednesday, IUP on Saturday, and then 2 more home games as we finish out the year. What are you most looking forward to at this end of the season?
I want to win.
Yep. And when you say you want to win, obviously 11-0 at home, doing really well. What are your thoughts on some of the struggles that we've had on the road? What are ways that you think that we can be better when we hit the road?
I think we just have to take it more serious. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, just be more focused and worry about what's right now instead of what's going to be ahead.
And so far, you've kind of been on campus. Your feet are definitely wet as you've joined the program and been around the school. Tell us right now, Gigi, what do you like most about Cal U so far, the time that you've been here?
Just basketball and you guys. That's it.
So basketball. Classes are okay?
Yeah.
Not a school person?
Not at all.
But try.
Yeah,
you try. Gigi does study hall. You put in the time, so it's not a lack of effort in that area. So you just really, really love basketball. I think we see that day in, day out, how much you love to grind it out and practice, how much you like to watch film, and how much you like to watch other people play. So basketball has always been your thing?
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
Well, the crazy part is I didn't start playing until I was like in middle school or something like that.
Wow, so kind of a late start. How did you get into it?
I'm not sure. Just being outside with the boys.
Yeah. Kind of started out in the neighborhood playgrounds and then went to West Mifflin, figured it all out, and kind of put it all together?
Yeah.
Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is our interview with Gigi Flood-Francis. This concludes the first half of the program. After the break, we will talk with Jess Strom about all things Cal U women's basketball for the upcoming games.
Dylan, what's wrong, man?
I just don't know how my family back home in Buchanan, West Virginia can watch our stuff up here.
They can follow us on Twitter or they can like us on Facebook.
That's awesome. What about our sports? How can they watch that?
They could watch it live right on our YouTube channel.
Awesome, man. Thanks.
You're welcome.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Jess Strom Show. We are seated right here, right now, with the main lady herself, Coach Jess Strom. Jess, how's your week going so far?
Fantastic.
Okay, so Valentine's Day, no, not your thing. What are your thoughts on February 14th?
just another day to me.
Just another day.
I don't really believe in Valentine's Day, but
commercial holiday.
if you do, yep.
Commercial holiday. You say this day in, day out. You should love the person that you're with, no matter what day. Still going by that?
Yeah, I think Valentine's Day is for people to make money.
You know what? And I'm one of those people that falls to that every year, every single year. So we had the opportunity to miss out on the Jess Strom show due to some recruiting priorities that we had here with the program. Let's head back a couple weeks to the Edinboro game. That's the last time before that we had the show. So that was the last opportunity that we had to chat about the team. Went to Edinboro, had a rough one. Didn't play as well as we'd like, but still thought we fought pretty hard. Tell us a little bit about Edinboro and what your thoughts were on the game.
Yeah, I think, we prepared well. I think we had good practice leading up to Edinboro. I think we got there and our energy was all right. I think we played hard. I just don't think we played too smart. I think we kind of went out of our character a little bit, took some shots that weren't necessarily the best for us. But I don't think our effort wasn't there, which that's what we preach mostly. So Edinboro's a good team. Obviously, they're in the top 3 of the PSAC. So you go there and you lose. I think you have to just learn from it, watch it and move on.
Absolutely. And bouncing right from Edinboro, heading from Edinboro a loss, so important to put that loss to bed and focus on the next one. So had to go back up to Erie to see Gannon. Always a great game between Cal U and Gannon. Obviously seeing teams the second time around. What were your thoughts about how we came out of the gates after the Edinboro loss going up to Gannon?
Yeah, I think, again, anywhere on the road you play in the PSAC is tough. The environments are different, and we're a good home team. I mean, our record shows it, but we've struggled on the road. So going up to Gannon, you worry a little bit about how we're going to come out. Changed our defense just a bit of what we started in, and I think it worked. I think we came out on fire defensively, got some steals, turned them over a ton. I think they had 15 turnovers, maybe a quarter and a half into the game. So definitely did our job defensively. Let them back into it a little bit late, but I think by that time, our pressure had already got to them.
And with that, every day, every game, every time we talk on this show, we really stress about how well the Vulcans come out to defensive pressure, score to steals and scores. How do we continue to focus on that? How do you continue to push that every day? And why do you think that's the best way for us to be successful?
Yeah, I think just talk about it. I mean, I think we say it every single day, multiple times a day, that that's how we're going to be successful with this team, this group of players. That's just what we need to do. I mean, but that's what Cal has been, for the past however many years. That's what we have always been about, is trying to turn the other team over and get easy layups. And for us, and our team knows it, we're not the best outside shooters. That's just not our game. We knew that when we recruited these players, that we weren't really recruiting outside shooters. So our best bet is to get steals, get easy layups, kind of intimidate other teams.
And going from Gannon right to UPJ, we obviously don't have any highlights from the Gannon game. CUTV, they're always at every single game, but we're advised not to head out because of weather. Thank goodness for Quest coach Bus Lines and Gary. We love you, Gary. To get us up to Erie, fine. But heading home, preparing for UPJ, continuously we always have really tight games with them at UPJ. Great offensive rebounders, great post presence. What were your thoughts about how we came to UPJ and started the game?
Yeah, I think the same way we started the Gannon game. I think we came out defensively with the different energy about us. We got some turnovers to scores for us, and I think when we stopped doing that is when you saw a drought in our scoring. So, we had to pick up our defense, get some easy baskets. Obviously there's some offensive clips here. But for us, defense is what usually leads to wins for us.
And we see Parsons with a big game here. Obviously had some foul trouble late in the third. How difficult is it for us when Parsons is out of the game?
Yeah, it's, because for us, she plays defense as well as she plays offense. So for us, I know she scores a lot of points for us offensively, but she's very disruptive. Right there, you see even in a trap defensively for us. So on both ends of the court, I think, when she goes out, it definitely hurts us. And you saw in this game on a foul that I don't really think was a foul, she got taken out. And I just think our defensive intensity maybe dipped a little bit, but obviously we need to do better. You know, there's going to be times when she's not going to be in the game, and we have to have the same energy offensively and defensively.
And it's always so nice in this game, especially this game, to see Abby Sporio. Obviously a homecoming for her. She was a transfer from UPJ. Tell us about the importance of her ball pressure and her ability to steal the ball from people and what it means to our team.
Yeah, I think if you just watch the game sometimes, you may not notice all that Abby does for us. But for us as coaches and our team, I think we definitely understand how important she is. She's nonstop. I think she played 40 minutes this game and just pressured their point guard the whole entire time. So, like I said, you might not notice it as just, you know, a normal fan, but for us, she's really, really important. And obviously, at the end of this game, she came up with a huge steal to seal our win.
And obviously, didn't have the presence of Mia Kushan, out with a little bit of sickness. Tell us about the different amount of subs that you had seen in this game and what it's like to kind of be a man down in games kind of going towards the end of the year.
Yeah, it's tough because, you know, obviously Mia plays a lot of minutes for us. So when you're missing someone, and, you know, we've been missing people all year. We've missed Abby a couple games. We missed Gigi for 8 games. You have to go deeper into your bench. And I think for us, it's kind of just game by game finding who's ready to play that game, you know, who is mentally focused there, who's going to play defense that day.
And a huge show, and obviously Parsons with 21 points, but Flood Francis coming in with 14 points, obviously taking a lot of the scoring burden away from some people that didn't get to see minutes due to sickness. How important is it to have that kind of balance?
Yeah, you hope that, you know, when someone's out, someone else steps up. And Gigi did for us in scoring, you know, for that game. I think she always plays defense for us, probably one of our best defenders. But she definitely came through scoring-wise at UPJ.
And now that week is kind of put to bed, a big focus on Redemption Day for the Cal U women's basketball team. Have an opportunity to be at home versus Mercyhurst, a team that we lost to on the road. How do you prepare for this kind of game when you know that you've lost a big game to them and they're coming to your house? What are some things? I'm sure the preparation isn't too different than day by day, but thoughts on how you can get people to make sure that we're playing our best basketball this time and needing a win?
Yeah, I think the preparation is the same, you know, that we've been doing all season long. If you're any kind of competitor, I think you come into this game knowing we lost to them up there, and you felt like we probably shouldn't have, but we just didn't show up. You know, we feel like we definitely let ourselves down when we went there. So, like I said, you prepare the same. You know, you get ready. This time of year is tricky because you don't want to practice them too much, but you need to be prepared. So you kind of just stick to what is working for you, and, you know, you show up and know you lost to them last time. So.
In talking about the game, some big keys, 20 offensive rebounds the Lakers had versus us for 16 second chance points. The focus has been on boxing out, had a really tough time against UPJ. What are some things you think the Vulcans need to do to make sure that those kind of things don't happen again as we move forward in the season?
I think we just need to take care of little things. You know, boxing out is just making a choice to turn around and find somebody and put a body on them. And a lot of times we don't make that choice. So, you know, us as coaches, I think we have to find a way to make sure we do that. You know, I think a lot of our players just like to jump to get rebounds instead of finding a body and boxing out. So that's definitely a weakness of ours. We've been focusing on it. Hopefully, you know, it starts showing up in game times.
And, you know, you would see through the month of January and February, we've had opportunities where we've won one, we've lost one, we've won two, lost one. How important at this time of year is it to kind of put streaks together of wins and what it means in terms of PSAC standings, regional standings, as, you know, we look to the end of the year for those championships and competitions?
Yeah, and this time of year, you don't really have time to make those mistakes that you kind of have time to early. You know, for us, we're looking forward to the PSAC tournament. We're looking forward to the NCAA tournament, hopefully making it in the region. But it starts with every single game. So here you see the PSAC West standings. We're in third right now, and that's just one game away from first. So, you know, you have to come into every single game knowing that it's going to make the difference, you know, at the end of the season, whether we're in first or sixth place. You know, the PSAC is really, really close this year.
And when you look at that, the West standings right here, you see Edinburgh, the team that we had the opportunity to beat. IUP, a team that we beat and we have to play them again. Seton Hill, a team that beat us. Those top teams in there are all so competitive. What do you think makes the PSAC so competitive?
Yeah, I just think, you know, we have players that compete every day. You know, we have good coaches. We have teams that know each other really, really well. So I think it makes it fun. You know, like you said, the top teams, obviously we've lost to Seton Hill. We've lost to Mercyhurst. IUP has lost to Mercyhurst. So there's not a huge difference depending on the day, from the 4th or 5th team and the 1st and 2nd team. But it makes it fun that way.
And what are you looking forward to most as we, kind of round out? I can't believe it's that time of year. 20-4, I said it before, 15-3 in conference. What are you looking for in terms of the upcoming games and upcoming practices? As you said, it's tough. We strive every day to get better and better. I think that's something that we do. But at this time of year, you have to know, you have to be all on the same page. There's time for minimal mistakes. How do you prepare your team, our team, to be able to do that?
Yeah, I think you prepare all season long. I don't think it's something you do right now. I don't think it's like a quick fix. I think if you've worked hard all season long, you start to see it now. You're a little bit tougher than the other teams. You can handle adversity a little bit better than other teams. Everybody's tired. Everybody is feeling it. They're hurting, they're sick, whatever it is. But I think if you've prepared, since October for these things, then this time of year it definitely shows.
And, for viewers out there, should they expect the same kind of Cal U basketball? We'll be there. Have you put in anything new? Do you think it's a time to put in anything new? What are some things that you'd like to do at this time of the year?
I think it depends on the team. I think you need to know your players, if they can handle putting in new things. I think this year's team, we stick to what we know, maybe make a few tweaks here and there, maybe play some defenses that we've had all year but haven't played as much. I don't think this year's team is a team that you put in a ton of new stuff right now.
Yeah, as always, have a couple things in your back pocket for certain situations. Down the stretch, we have seen some really interesting things happen with the Cal U women's basketball team. Obviously, get hit with the little cold flu bug this week, have some interesting injuries. Are you the type of coach, next person in, no excuses, no ifs, ands, or buts, just kind of get the job done?
Yeah, you have to figure it out. You can't just, because a couple of people are sick or somebody's injured, you can't just lay down and die. We're still going to compete. We're still going to play. You have to play the game anyway. So, and for us, we practice very hard. So the people that don't play as many minutes still practice the same as the people that do play. So, hopefully they're prepared, and whoever has to go in goes in, and our level doesn't really drop much.
Couple things to talk about before we end the show. Few things that you think are going to be the focus of the last few games of the season. What are some things that Cal U definitely needs to do to be successful as we're heading into the PSAC tournament?
Yeah, I think that obviously I'm going to talk about defense. I think our defense just needs to be at its best now. We've had some really good defensive games, some not so good. I think we need to put these games, string these games together defensively. And honestly, for us to win anything, I think we're going to have to make a few outside shots eventually at some point. Teams have figured out, you sit in the paint against us, which is fine. But, if we're not scoring defensively, I think we're going to have a hard time.
And that's it. Upcoming games, Mercyhurst on Wednesday at IUP, and then 2 more home games at Seton Hill on February 21st and in First Clarion here at home on February 24th. Senior Day, Alumni Day, so some really fun things to be excited for. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the Jess Strom Show. We hope to have your support as we, hit the last 4 games of the year and head into the PSAC conference. So thanks for joining us, and have a great day.